takes courage to get you outside of the box. It takes courage to be successful. It takes courage to win. People don't talk about people that don't win. If you win, they're going to talk about you. Do you have the courage?
As I always point out, the current market is completely shuttered, and we will continue to have issues no matter the current changes. As Lawrence is saying, we need to reset the currency with a sound, neutral reserve currency, which is XRP. Anyway, today is going to be quite insightful, especially for anyone who thought that XRP had already lost. Yes, the signs are there, and it seems like this currency is taking its last breath, but like the phoenix, XRP will rise from the ashes. Don't just listen to my words, watch this video until the very end to get what I'm saying. I promise you, this is not your regular video. So without further delay, let's roll that intro. As always, welcome to Moneyside, your favorite crypto news channel. If you're new here, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you get updates when we drop new videos. Don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment in the section down below. Let's keep the conversation rolling. I love reading your comments and getting your points of view on the subject. Now check this out. @Fatman tweeted, "I have received word from a verified source at a top law firm in the US that class actions are being prepared against Binance, Gemini, Kraken, and Coinbase under the Securities Act for the sale of UST and Luna to its US customers. They are looking to file within 10 weeks. Minor addendum. I used the wrong legal term here. The correct term for the most likely type of action being filed is mass arbitration, although class actions are also being considered." There's no denying the fact that thousands of people lost a huge chunk of their investments in Luna. Stable coins are now taking a hit from all sides, but from this tweet, it now seems that it's really going to affect the whole crypto space, not to mention the massive crash that Luna caused. Aside from inflation and other factors, the crypto market has been taking fire from all corners, and it was just about to stabilize before Luna collapsed, taking with it the whole crypto market. Thankfully, the widespread fear of crypto is reducing, but here's the most stupid thing I've heard all day. People are working on Luna 2.0. Can you believe that? While Ripple is getting sued for something they didn't even commit, Luna is roaming around free and working on a second version. Now call me crazy, but which company should actually be sued in such a scenario? Think about it for a second. Ripple and XRP have never led to any loss of capital unless you traded against the market and the market reversed, which is a normal occurrence in the crypto market. On the other hand, people lost money simply for holding Luna, which later went to ashes in a matter of days. Have you seen Luna's price graph? It's mind-boggling. Let's be honest with each other here. There was no reason to go for Ripple, and I still believe there's currently no reason to go after it at the moment. Whatever is happening with Luna is completely laughable. Here's another wrinkle in the SEC versus Ripple case. As Sigmund Oz says, "How do you expect Patrick B. Doody to be an objective and fair expert witness when they received a huge amount from the SEC? Turns out that the expert works for Integra, which was awarded a $4.1 million contract by the SEC, and now he is testifying as an expert on the case. Honestly, do you really expect this guy to be objective in this case?" There's also this other tweet. It comes from Leonidas, where he says, "I wonder in which digital assets this independent expert witness is invested in." I did a little bit of dumpster diving to check out what's happening in Integra's website, and guess what? I couldn't find anything anti-Ethereum at all. In any case, this goes to show that the game has been rigged all along. And you wonder why I'm so bullish on XRP? I mean, if the game is rigged and Ripple is still surviving, imagine what this crypto could do once this case settles. Another headline that caught my eye, a specialist actually predicting the future of XRP is brighter than ever, and we could see this happen by the end of this year, by December 2022. Yep, from its current price, that's a massive profit. Now guys, I don't know about you right now, but it's the perfect time to go all in on XRP before the train leaves the station. The prediction relies on a settlement or XRP winning the case. This video gives you a breakdown of what happened in the UAE when Brad Garlinghouse. In this interview, Joseph Lubin, who apparently is Gary Gensler's colleague, and he makes a reference to that during the interview and asks a question to Garlinghouse. He is also quite interested in the XRP army and if Brad is actually in control of XRP's price. Garlinghouse actually announces publicly that if he could control the price of XRP, it wouldn't be at 42 cents. He goes into detail about what's really happening with XRP and the XRP ledger, and he also announces to the people that XRP and its ecosystem are living in a world as if they've already lost. And it's true. With the current events, as you can see, XRP has been delisted for the longest time on major exchanges and can't be traded in the US. Brad continues to say that he is already living in the world that we've lost, and apparently Ripple is still thriving. He's not wrong, by the way. Last year and in the beginning of this year, Ripple has recorded massive revenues, and it seems like it's continuously growing. That's why I do not believe for 1 second that Ripple will lose this case. We just have to wait and find out what happens. But the worst has already happened, and we can only move upwards from here on out. Now we're going to talk about FOMO and how to kill it. FOMO is a P&L killer. At its core, FOMO is fear. The problem is not that we missed the trade. It's that our brains perceive that missed trade as a threat to our future, our success, our reputation. When humans are afraid of something or see a threat, it produces anxiety. This fear takes blood away from the part of the brain where higher level thinking takes place and sends it to the part that impulsive thinking lives. There will be poor decision making under the influence of anxiety. The key to solving this issue is to take the threat out of the situation. Here are the solutions. Taking a break from the screen is healthy, but it is not a long-term fix. Brett explains how to train in exposure therapy. His presentation explains this in great detail. Slow breathing and visualization are more adept at battling FOMO. If you can visualize a calming place or situation and pair it with that fear, daily practice and dedication will prevent blood flow to the impulse zone. Gradually, when FOMO comes around, you will experience feelings of safety, combined with expanding your time of reference, understanding, and acknowledging FOMO will make those events look like potholes on a long highway. Missing a trade is unfortunate, but will it end my career? No. Will buying at the top and then being so irate that I add to a losing trade and forego stop orders in my career? It might. Will I be thinking clearly on my next trade with a fresh mistake permeating my thoughts? No. The best motivation to avoid FOMO is to develop emotional hate towards the negative consequences of it. In the fullness of time, the desire to avoid negative outcomes becomes self-reinforcing with repetition, and therefore cements as an internal priority. This works across the board in other life scenarios as well. Tapping into other motivations besides P&L is one that really hit home with me as well. Brett dives into the desire to learn and grow as a greater motivator than just P&L alone. This addition will create a dual purpose to each trade. You're diversifying your outcome. If you come away from a trade with a negative P&L, but with a positive learning experience, you are building your learning capital. With time, under this premise, your learning capital will be indistinguishable from your monetary statement. Instead of tying your value as a trader strictly to your P&L, tie your value to your consistency and risk management. The magnitude of your P&L is nothing without consistency. Risk management begets larger positions, lower drawdowns, and an overall better quality of work life. One day comes with a myriad of experiences. Create a diversified life with people and activities that fulfill you outside of trading, and your trading will improve. Reminding yourself of this daily is also important. As always, we remind you, do your own research and always trade safely, guys. We continue to pray for the people of Ukraine. Keep in mind, we're not a licensed financial advisor. All videos on this channel are intended for entertainment purposes only. Tell us what you think in the comments section below, and let's have a conversation. Thanks as always for tuning in. Don't forget to like this video, and please click on that subscribe button below. Be sure to turn on notifications. That way you get informed whenever we post our amazing content. Thanks again, and we will see you on the next Money Side.